and welcome to Coldesi's introduction of the Avancé 1501C commercial embroidery machine. Now, the Avancé is a brand new unit for Coldesi, so we're just going to go through some of the basic features and why you might want to consider this for your next commercial system. First of all, the 1501C in Avancé is just like with other brands. It means that it's a 15 needle machine. 15 needles doesn't mean just that it's got 15 needles down at the bottom. It also means that you can hold up to 15 spools of thread, which is great for a commercial application, so you don't have to spend that time swapping out spools and rethreading the machine on such a regular basis. While I've got this open, I'll also talk about the thread break sensor, because if you are sewing out a job and a thread breaks, what you don't want to have happen is for it to continue sewing out, so you waste both the time and the materials in the job itself. So if there's a thread break, the Avancé system automatically stops in its tracks, so you can come and address the issue. Now, some of the more obvious things that you'll see and some of the niceties are that it does have thread guides built in. So this prevents the threads up top from getting tangled, especially while you're moving. And the C in the Avancé name is for compact. And we'll show you and talk a little bit later about why that's a great feature of the Avancé. But mostly it's because it's already got feet built in on the bottom, so it's perfect for tabletop use. And also there's no separate box to take with you. So it's very easy to transport to a fair or to a trade show or to a mall kiosk, etc. Now the compact also refers to the size. So it's just a little over 2.5 feet wide and it's 2.5 feet deep. And it comes with a cart that's on wheels that we're also going to take a look at later. So what that means is that not only is it transportable, but you can roll it into a closet. So if you are in a home-based business or you're a busy screen print shop and you just don't have the space to keep it out all the time, you can easily store it when it's not in use. Now, a few other things that you'll probably notice about the Avancé is this light. Now, this is a great powerful little light down here, so you can check on your design, really getting close to the stitches and see how the sew out is progressing, whether it's matching your digitizing efforts or not. We already talked about the thread break sensor. What you'll also notice is that there's a cap is hooped up right now. All the Avancé units come with both flats and caps, or the ability to sew out on flats and caps. So you get cap frames and you get flat frames both, right with your standard Avancé kit. What we're going to talk about next is a couple of things. We're going to take a look at the control panel so you can see how easy it is to operate the Avancé. Sean, our lead Avancé technician, is just going to do a quick swap out so you can see how easy it is to go from flats to caps on the Avancé 1501C. We'll take a look at how portable it is. I'll show you the stand, and then we'll zoom in on the control panel and talk about some of the more technical features of the Avancé.
All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the frame, take our hoop off the frame, and grab our 3mm T-handle Allen wrench, take the arms off the machine, slide that to the side. Once we loosen it, we'll pull it off, and it's basically the frame with two Allens. Next, we are going to take our cap frame and slide it on, lining the guide rails up, pushing it to the back till it meets the arm, sliding it into position, taking a Phillips screwdriver, tightening down the frame on both sides, making sure it is nice and snug. And there you have it, going from flat to cap mode in less than a minute.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the control panel, or the brains of the Avancé. And of course you can see very clearly there's a nice big bright LCD display that has all your job information and a picture of your job on it. We'll talk about that in just a second. You've got the big green stop, start button, the red stop button, and the emergency stop. And then various manual controls that will allow you to do things like assign a needle number 1 to a color, needle number 2 to a color, etc., to rotate designs. And a lot of the standard functions that you'll be doing every day can be done right here from the control panel. But what you can't see over on the side here is a USB hookup, which will allow you to put up to, we've tried an 8 gig USB drive, which is just millions and millions of stitches. You would probably never fill it. Also on board you've got a 200 design, or I think it's a 2 million stitch memory. So you can store basically all of your customer standard designs right on the machine or in a simple USB stick. Now what you can't see also is the fact that it's a networkable machine. So while this is a single head, if you buy a second Avancé and hook it up to the computer, then now you've got a 2-head. If you buy a third Avancé 1501C, it's a 3-head, etc. So that's just a great part of what's built into the control panel and into the Avancé that you cannot see. Okay, the information displayed on the control panel is really important for you to run your business properly. I mean, first of all, you can see the image that you're going to be sewing out, which is great, but what I really like is there's a number of the design inside the system, and then you name it. We've named this one Demo because this is our demonstration design. You can see the speed rating here that design is set for, or the machine is set for, is 900 stitches a minute. The Avancé will go all the way up to 1200 stitches a minute, so it's right there with the best commercial machines on the market today. And this is also really important, is it will tell you how long left you have in sewing out the design, or how long that design is going to take. So before you bid a job, before you do anything as far as pricing goes for a new job, you can load up the design and actually see how long it's going to take you to sew out. And of course there's a lot of other information here, where it is on the axis, the needles right now, etc. But this is a great little icon down here. It tells you whether or not you're sewing out flats or caps. The little t-shirt obviously is for flats. It tells you what rotation your design is at. This one is, straight up and down, but if you wanted to tilt it sideways, you could. So there's a lot of great information on the screen, in addition to useful information that you can enter in the control panel itself. But all in all, the Avancé 1501C comes complete with all the controls on board that you need to run a commercial embroidery business. So during the presentation that both Sean and I did, we talked about the Avancé coming with a stand on wheels, and as you can see, that it does come with very sturdy wheels, so it is extremely portable. There's a little storage space at the bottom, and even though it's on a stand, you can also see that the Avancé is already ready for tabletop use. So like we said before, you can just pick this up and go, or the entire thing will just wheel into a closet or wheel into a corner of your home office or studio. Alright, so that was the Avancé 1501C from Coldesi. There should be a link down at the bottom of the screen or in the description of this video that will allow you to go to the Avancé website, which is avance-emb.com. You can also look there for a link to our Spanish website as well. If you have any questions, just give us a call, also the number at the bottom of the screen, and we'd be happy to help with the new Avancé 1501C.